Hi guys, Joe here with GetGround, and as part of this video, which is Meet a Landlord, we're going to be speaking to one of our clients here, and what we really want to do, I suppose, is to just understand what is a landlord or who is a landlord. What does a landlord look like? So, you talking with me, Joseph Carbonaro, and I'll introduce, I'll ask you, Ian, to introduce yourself, please.
Hi, hello, Joe. I'm Ian. I'm a buy-to-let landlord. I've got one property, me personally, I'm completing on my second property, which is in a limited company tomorrow. Fingers crossed if it all goes well. I live in a little town called Blythe, which is just outside of Newcastle. This is where I'm investing, and this is where I will be continue investing for the foreseeable.
Fantastic stuff. So, how did you get into property, Ian?
It was really last year through the start of the coronavirus. I'm a scaffolder, that's what I do for a living. And my wage took a big hit. I was on furlough. I was getting some income, but it wasn't enough really to support myself and my family.
Right.
So I had to take a lot of payment holidays for certain things. I had car finance, which I had to take a payment holiday, and a few other things. So I really wanted to try and find a way to start making some more money. And I was quite lucky in a way because I had a holiday booked. It was quite an expensive holiday, and I got the money back off that.
Right.
So I was off work for the first 9 weeks of the first lockdown, and I've been working non-stop ever since.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been saving a lot more money since, and I started to get my head in the books and started researching what I can do to try and earn some more money. And I came across property.
Okay.
So it just took off from there, and I bought my first buy-to-let last year in my personal name, which has been tenanted since November, which has all been going good. And yeah, I'm getting my second one hopefully tomorrow. If nothing happens, nothing goes wrong, it'll also go well.
Great stuff. And how did you find out about property? Where did you actually do your research?
Spotify, podcasts,
Okay.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Just that really. I was just typing on Google and just reading a lot of blogs.
Yeah.
Started reading a lot of books, which I was never a big reader, but now I have to read at least a book a month.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of Audible, and there's a lot of free education out there, a lot of free information to get out there.
Fantastic.
So if you just find the time to do it, you can get yourself quite a lot of knowledge.
And so it wasn't even that you had sort of advisors or anyone around you kind of helping you as such. It was purely that you've done a lot of the research about becoming a landlord yourself.
It's just something I was I'm quite eager to learn about. It really can change your life if you just put the time in and the effort.
Fantastic. And how have you found the process of becoming a landlord? Did you struggle with anything? Was anything not quite how you thought it would be?
Just really going through the process of buying a property. I have got the home I live in at the minute. I do own that.
Yeah.
But it's pretty straightforward. But when I was buying a buy-to-let, it was just seemed I wasn't really aware of all the information I needed to provide. And once I've done it once, I'm a little bit more prepared. So I was for the second one. I knew what to do, and I was had my bank statements ready, had everything ready to go ahead. So I wasn't God.
Fantastic. And did anything surprise you at all? Did you find anything, other than the kind of process generally of buying a property? Did anything sort of take you by surprise, about being a landlord, like energy certificates or?
Talking about that, the EICR, which I didn't really know about, which is the electrical safety safety. The CP12, which I did know about, really, I think that's just common sense that you should be getting the boiler checked anyways.
Yeah.
The EPC, I didn't really understand, but I think they're the main ones, and obviously to protect your tenant's deposits.
Absolutely.
I haven't took because it's a friend who lives in the buy-to-let I've got. I didn't take the deposit, so I didn't bother with none of that. But just making sure you follow. But the NRLA, they were great. If you log on the step by step, tell you everything what you need and what you need to do.
Brilliant.
I really recommend anyone signing up to them.
You're a member of the NRLA, are you?
Yes. Yeah. For £75 a year, it's inexpensive, and it's got all the information. It's got tenancy agreements. It's got everything you need on there.
Yeah, we are actually the recommended supplier for the NRLA for limited company
Yeah,
creations, included, just in case
that's
you
what
didn't
I
know.
found until I found
But
you.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great stuff. And so, obviously landlording, there's a lot that's got to be done from an admin perspective, and you seem to have kind of self-educated yourself. And I suppose the reason for you kind of becoming a landlord was to try and change your life for the positive. Do you think you're doing that? Do you think that that is genuinely what you're achieving, or do you think you've got a little bit more to go?
I think I've only got the one property that's given us a bit of a cash flow at the moment.
Yeah,
But yeah, I've still got a while to go. But the path I see myself on, yeah, I can definitely see it's going to benefit in years to come, especially because I've got a young son.
yeah,
It's something I can leave for him in the future, or something I can at least set him up for in the future.
absolutely,
But,
absolutely.
it's still got a long way to go in respect of if it's going to change my life. I've only got 2 properties by tomorrow. It's not going to massively change my life.
Not quite Donald Trump yet, mate.
Yeah, not yet, but if I keep going and just keep at it, yeah, I can definitely see it benefiting and change my life in the future.
Brilliant. And where do you see your landlord career going? Is this the first of many properties? Do you want to acquire, a few more? And where do you actually see this going in future?
Yeah, well, I've sat down and was talking to my missus about what we should do, and I think our magic number was 10
Right.
properties,
Okay.
which would allow me to leave my job if I so wish
Right.
to,
Yeah.
and just live off the income. But really, I haven't given it much thought because I don't really want to leave my job. It's not like I don't enjoy it, I don't love it, but I need something to be getting up in the mornings doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's almost one of those things, property, that you can do alongside your job, can't you? It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a be all and end all, at least until you get to a certain level anyway.
yeah,
And in terms of, finding a tenant, I know you mentioned that your friend was there.
yeah.
Did you advertise the property, or was it something that you just kind of had pre-arranged and it kind of fell into place?
I had it pre-arranged really when I was put the offer in. I was obviously talking to friends and family about what I was
Yeah,
doing, and I had a couple of friends mention, oh, they would like to they would like to rent it, which I got quite lucky.
yeah,
But
yeah, great.
the one I'm completing on tomorrow, I'm using a company called Open Rent.
Okay.
I'll be using them, which is for £50. I believe it's 47 or £50. They'll advertise on all the portals like
Oh,
Rightmove, Zoopla.
fantastic. Yeah,
They'll send the tenancy agreement. They'll protect the deposit for you. Obviously,
brilliant.
you've just got to meet anyone at the property and show them around and do the viewings.
Yeah,
But for a small fee, I think it's
yeah, it's great, isn't it?
I
Yeah,
mean, I think
yeah,
they can do all the do all the checks on them, the background checks, everything. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And how has being a landlord changed your relationship with tax?
Yeah. Wait. The reason why I'm buying my second in a limited company is because I will be hitting the 40% tax
Right.
bracket if I
Yeah.
continue to buy my own name. Um, so I didn't really understand anything about limited companies. I didn't understand what I can be claiming for anything. So again, it was just watching a lot of YouTube videos and talking to. I did talk to a lot of different tax advisors who have just give us a bit of information for free.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you need to understand really what your position is, and before you think about actually getting involved in property or buying property in a limited company, I would say.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. And so was using a limited company structure, which is obviously what we do here at GetGround, for anyone who's watching and doesn't know our vested interest. Was using a limited company structure purely a tax thing for you, or was there anything more to it than that?
For me, really for the inheritance,
Okay,
I would like to be able to pass anything over to me son or sons.
right,
Hopefully, I
yeah,
don't have another one day. So it would be. I understand it's a lot easier to gift shares. Obviously, if it's in a
yeah,
limited company, so I can obviously give the properties to my son.
yeah.
It's a lot harder. What I know would be a lot harder in your personal name.
Absolutely, yeah. You really only sell it to your son, or
Yeah.
or pass it down in your will, which is not really not always the best thing to do. Um, Great stuff. And so, inheritance tax then, is that, I take it that's your main focus for doing limited company structures. And have you dived into this with many different parties? Has there been tax advisories in your life, or where did you get your information from with regards to limited companies and inheritance planning?
Really, just again, just a lot of podcasts which I started understanding about limited companies. But then I have talked to one or two tax advisors, and I tell them my situation, how an advisor would be better to go down the limited company route.
Yeah,
I would be paying a lot more tax if I continue in my personal name. And for the inheritance tax side, it's just what I understand. It's just going to be a lot easier just in a limited company, especially because I know I want to sell these properties. In the future, I might change, but I never want to sell them. So I do want to gift them, or I want to pass them over to my son when he comes of age.
Absolutely. No, that makes absolute sense. And tell us about the type of properties, Ian, that you actually want to buy. What type of properties are you most interested in?
Yeah, I'm just standard buy-to-let, three bedroom houses, nothing special. Yeah, nothing exciting. Just where I live, I'm quite lucky. I live up in the northeast, and it's really affordable to buy homes. It's really cheap.
Okay.
So a really good size 3-bedroom house, semi-detached, for 80,000, 90,000.
Fantastic.
We'll rent out for 600, 650.
Wow, brilliant.
So you can pick up some good properties. At the moment, the time we're in at the moment, there's not really much on the market, and things are.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you do any renovations as part of the properties that you acquire? Do you get many expenses?
Yeah, the first one I bought just didn't really need much, just a bit of decorating. This one, I will be completing on tomorrow. I do believe we're going to put a new bathroom in it.
Okay, fantastic.
I'm lucky in work, I work in the construction industry, so I know a lot of people. A lot of my friends are involved in that sort of work, so I can get it relatively cheaper than what most people might be able to pay.
Very good. Yeah, very good. And I suppose the expenses for running these properties are also tax deductible as well. So you're able to write the expenses off and then pay corporation tax, which is less than, so I suppose that's another way in which a limited company structure would help you. I mean, have you ever considered kind of diversifying your portfolio? Have you looked into flats, or have you looked into maybe smaller properties in different areas?
Really, at the moment, I'm focusing just on my local area, just because I know it so well. I mean, there's other areas quite around where I live, Cramlington and Ashton, which I am looking at as well. But it's just because I know these areas so well, I know what's a good street and what's a bad street.
Absolutely.
I'm just sticking with single lets, family homes.
Brilliant.
I have thought about HMOs, but I don't really understand them, and what I do believe is going to be a much more hard work. Yes, I know the cash flow is going to be a lot better. Yeah, there's a lot more work involved.
Yeah, a lot more administration, isn't there? Yeah.
The way I'm thinking, just get a nice family home, a family who's just going to stay in there. I can sort of just forget about it.
Absolutely. And if someone was thinking about starting out as a landlord, and maybe they've got a little bit of money, set aside, what would your top tip be to them?
Get educated, really understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. I mean, I sort of rushed in when I bought my first one. It was only last year, but I had a pot of cash in. I thought I just want to buy a property. Yeah. Enough, it turned out it was all right. It wasn't really a bad investment.
But have you made any mistakes at all? Do you think there's any mistakes that you've made, as a new landlord, or do you think you've been relatively lucky with how it's gone so far?
So far, I've been it's been relatively all right. It's been relatively. I don't think I've made any major mistakes. The one thing I didn't realise was buying this property in a limited company, where I had to sign a deed of guarantee.
Right.
But I didn't understand that. I wasn't too sure what that was.
Right. Okay.
So I had to go to a different solicitor. I had to pay another expense for him to read a bit of paper to us.
Right.
I didn't understand it, but now I know I'm aware of that for the future.
Okay. Was that for the mortgage?
Yes, for the mortgage. Yeah,
for the mortgage.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it's not getting paid. I'm signing a deed to tell them that yes, I will pay it.
Yeah. And how have you found the process of mortgages through limited companies? That's a good point.
A little bit tougher. It's took a bit longer, this one. It seems a bit more paperwork.
Right.
But it's been relatively. It's been relatively okay. To be honest, it hasn't been too bad. Just took a little bit longer than what it did for my first one.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Great stuff. Brilliant. Okay, so your top tips are get educated, and you certainly sound like you've done that. I suppose in terms of kind of what the future holds, and you think you're probably going to be buying a couple more, and your main reasons for inheritance tax, would you recommend people buy through limited companies, or what would your advice be to somebody who might be looking at structuring, a buy-to-let investment?
We talk to a professional. I mean, I haven't got nowhere near as much knowledge as what a professional would be able to give you.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm doing it is because I spoke to someone who sees the best route would be to go down the limited company, because I'm earning a good amount of money each year, and
Yeah.
cut the buy-to-lets me personally will just push us over that 40% bracket, which I
Fantastic.
don't want to be in.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
speak to someone, speak to a tax advisor, who can go through the situation, go through your expenses, go through everything with you, and they'll be able to advise you a hell of a lot better than I would be able to.
Brilliant. Great stuff. Well, Ian, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. And I think you've really gone some way towards, helping some of our other viewers to know that landlords are not people with devil horns on. They're, kind of regular people just like yourself, looking at ways in which they can better their family. So thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us today. I really appreciate it. And best of luck to you in the future.
That's chatting. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
See you there.